Former President Donald Trump announced he's turning himself in at an Atlanta jail on Thursday. This is in Georgia in regards to the election interference case. Fox 5's Robert Moses is here with the latest. And Robert, he's turning himself in a day early.
He is, Tashani, and as was the case with the previous 3 indictments, cameras will follow the former president's every move this Thursday, but we will likely get one more visual than we've gotten before. That is a mugshot. Former President Donald Trump promises to turn himself into authorities in Atlanta Thursday to face charges in a case that accuses him and 18 others of conspiring to overturn Georgia's 2020 election result. That's one day ahead of the Friday deadline set by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis for the former president and his co-defendants to surrender. Once he turns himself in at the Fulton County Jail, the sheriff has signaled that former President Trump will be treated like any other defendant, which includes having his mugshot taken. Before announcing last night that he will turn himself in Thursday, a judge set his bond at $200,000. The bond agreement prohibits him from speaking with any other co-defendants about the case except through his lawyers. It also tells him to make no direct or indirect threat of any nature against the community, which includes posts on social media or reposts of posts made by another individual. While the former president will be in Atlanta Thursday, he will not be in Milwaukee tomorrow night for the 2-hour presidential primary debate on Fox News Channel. Instead, in a counter-programming gambit, he pre-taped an interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson that is expected to air tomorrow. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie needled the former president for skipping the debate.
He's a coward. There's no other conclusion to come to that he's both afraid of me and he's afraid of defending his record.
On Truth Social, the former president explained his decision. The public knows who I am and what a successful presidency I had. Last night, the Republican National Committee announced that 8 candidates have qualified for the debate. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, Christie, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, former Vice President Mike Pence, entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. DeSantis will be the highest polling candidate on stage.
Everybody should debate. Everybody has a responsibility to earn people's votes. Nobody is entitled to anything in this world.
Even though former President Trump will not be in Milwaukee tomorrow, he and his 4 indictments since April will likely be the biggest topics of conversation. In the election interference case in Washington, prosecutors yesterday pushed back on the request made by the former president's attorneys that a trial be pushed off at least until April of 2026. The former president's lawyers had cited millions of pages of evidence that they say they have to read through first. But prosecutors say those attorneys overstated the evidence they have to examine. Special counsel Jack Smith has asked for a trial date this coming January. The judge in the case could weigh in on a trial date at a hearing coming up on August 28th. Tashani, back to you.
More to come for sure. Robert, thank you.